I'm checking to see what's available in the Denver region. Out to, I think I was out to about 200 miles. I see this load pop up, and it's headed eastward. It was picking up somewhere with, I think it was about 120 odd miles away from Denver, somewhere in that range, and it was going east about 800 miles. I think it was going to Illinois, actually. It was going to take me not quite to the home area, but close enough. It was almost an 800-mile run loaded. Okay. And so the broker is going through the information. Okay, it picks up this time, delivers this time. This is the rate. And the rate they quoted me was $900 for almost 800 miles, not including my deadhead. And I was about to start the negotiation process to ask for a little more so we get up close. I was going to be fair-ish, try it for 1,000, see if that would, get a little something better. Maybe, I don't know, I didn't feel like really fighting with them too much, because if they were going to be at 900 for that kind of mileage, I knew it wasn't going to be a winning fight to try to ask for, something fair, like, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, something a little closer to $2 a mile with fuel prices going up. And as of right before I'm about to start negotiating, the broker says, oh, someone just offered us 800 on this load, so I guess it's going to get covered. And I was like, first I was flabbergasted for a fraction of a second. And I was like, okay, well, I said to the broker, well, that happens sometimes. It is what it is. We'll try again next time. I made sure I was polite as possible and, professional as possible as we had hung up the phone, just to make sure that I don't leave a sour taste in the broker's mouth about myself should I ever deal with that broker again, which I'm sure I will. They didn't know who I was, but still, it's not a good idea to antagonize a broker unnecessarily. If they're going to be firm on a rate, it is what it is. If you're willing to work with it, you're willing to work with it. If not, okay, well, it's not going to work out. Better luck next time, and then you move on, but you do so professionally. But what flabbergasted me is that someone came in and undercut the posted rate to guarantee they got the load. Now, in defense and perhaps deference to the driver or the company that snapped up that load for 800, I don't care, because the brokers are already undercutting us. Whether you're a company that owns trucks or you're an owner-operator on your own, you are being undercut by brokers. It is what it is. If you rely on the load board for any percentage of your business, whether it's 10% or 100%, you're being undercut by the broker in some capacity, whether it's 25% or 50% or 80%. You're being undercut. They can say, oh yeah, we're only getting X number of dollars from the customer. That doesn't guarantee that's what they're actually getting. Sure, maybe if you have a relationship with that broker and that agent is your dedicated guy, you think you can trust that person like you're on a first name basis, maybe it's a different story. Overall, though, you can't believe what a broker tells you. You just gotta ask yourself a question: are you willing to work with that broker in that situation, or are you willing to, talk to somebody else, try to get a better rate somewhere else? It's all about you doing what you can do or what you have to do. But what every owner-operator, what every driver, what every dispatcher, what every company has to do is not accept garbage rates from brokers. Because if customers are seeing that the brokers are not getting their loads moved, that will create problems for the brokers. The brokers will have to up the rates. The brokers will have to pay out more to guarantee that companies or individual owner-operators will take on the freight, will do the load. Because I'm not taking a load for under $1 a mile unless I absolutely have to. Like, there's just no recourse. Like, it's either that or sit for 3 days doing nothing. Like, somehow I'll make that work if I absolutely have no other choice. And it's possible that this company was in a situation they had no other choice, and I want to give them that benefit of the doubt. But overall, though, the rates are in the tank because drivers and companies are accepting garbage from brokers. And if you're going to accept garbage from brokers, upon your head be it, and I hope you go out of business, because you're creating problems for the rest of us. You are not doing yourself or any of your fellow drivers or trucking companies a favor. You are hurting the business. You are hurting the rest of us. You're part of the problem. Stop it. We're already facing a situation where a lot of companies are going down. A lot of individual owner-operators are hanging it up. A lot of bigger carriers are in some real trouble. And it's going to get worse, because if the ABC regulation, that is the copycat of California's AB5 law, does go national at the end of June, if the FMCSA and DOT approve that, well, if the DOT really approves that, or Department of Labor, however it's going to work out, if that goes through, there will be a capacity crunch in the second half of 2023, because a lot of companies that have a lot of owner-operators that are lease purchase or lease agreement will suddenly have a shortfall of trucks, because those trucks will not legally be able to operate. And so the rates, if that does happen, the rates will spike up. So I'm hoping that before then everyone sees some sense and the rates start coming up organically, because people are saying, no, your rate is not good enough, you need to get it better. If the broker won't, you move on. You be patient, you wait for the next available load. If that costs you a day, it costs you a day. But if you're so desperate for a load that you're willing to underbid on a routine basis, you're already at death's door, business-wise. You might as well just pack it in and either shut down until you can become viable again, or just admit that you can't get the business going, you can't do what you gotta do, you cannot get it done, you have an unsustainable business model, and it's time to shut down. Let your drivers go to a company that's more solvent, that's more secure, and that can, bring a little more negotiating clout to the table and guarantee they're getting good rates, so that these brokers aren't getting away with high rate robbery. Anyway, that's my rant for today, YouTube. Hope you watched it. Hope you listened. Hope you agree. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I hope it was actually a situation where that company, that driver was just desperate. They had to get that guy moving to get him home. Again, if that's the situation, you do what you got to do. Because if it's an emergency, you